Osteoporosis is a disease that literally means porous bone. The disease is a skeletal disorder that is characterized by a reduction of bone density and quality, resulting in the bone becoming weak and more vulnerable to fractures. Osteoporosis is frequently referred to as the silent epidemic, as bone density decreases over time and there are often no symptoms until the disease has advanced and a fracture occurs. Globally, an estimated 9 million osteoporotic fractures occur each year. This equates to a fracture occurring every 3 seconds. As life expectancy increases, so too will the number of osteoporotic fractures. In fact, a fourfold rise is predicted over the next 4 decades.
Welcome back to Central News. Now, like most things in this day and age, there is always a prevention measure. So how do you prevent bones from being broken? Well, joining me today is Jane Kirkley, again from Bates. And when we're taking a look at bones, it doesn't start once the child's born. It actually starts in the womb, doesn't it?
Yeah, even before birth. So that preconception care is really important. And that's for the man and the woman to eat really well before they even want to conceive, and a good 6 months, but at least 4 months before conception, and that's mainly for the guys, that 4 months before, but women too, yeah. So
with the calcium, I mean, how can you actually build strength in your bones?
Well, what you're looking for is getting the calcium available in the diet, so sort of whatever stage, and making sure you have all the foods that are high in calcium. A lot of people know about dairy products being high in calcium, but there's plenty of other foods, and some people can't eat the dairy products for various reasons. But things like the vegetables, especially broccoli.
Doesn't broccoli have more calcium in it than a glass of milk, I read somewhere? I'm sure
it depends sort of weight for weight, yeah. The thing is with the vegetables, it seems that the calcium is more easily absorbed into the body. That's another big factor, getting that absorption. Another big source of calcium is nuts and also seeds, and of course fish, especially fish bones, any kind of bones. So if you can boil up and make your bone broths, great way of getting that the calcium in, as well as lots of other very important minerals and nutrients.
Some yummy fish soup then, should it be on our diet?
Absolutely, yeah.
It could be nice. I haven't really tried.
Well, you sort of have to have a stage where you sort of get it made, get a few hours to get it made, and look, if you want to get the stock drained off and use it again another day, because it takes a bit of boiling up, 2 to 3 hours to really boil up to get those minerals out of it. But well worth it, and just strain it off, and that's really nutrient-rich stock.
Yeah. When you're taking a look at calcium needs for a child, it's completely different to an adult?
Well, I have different needs, but it's important to focus at both times. So when the child is growing their bones, but they're also laying down the foundations for strong bones later in life. As I say, from an earlier stage, but particularly the ages between about 9 and 14, really important that they, calcium and the other important minerals are there in the diet at that time too, because that lays the foundation down for risk of osteoporosis, weak bones, fractures later on in life.
So what about calcium supplements? I mean, do you recommend that?
Not necessarily. You have to be sort of very careful in the amount of calcium, because other important nutrients like magnesium, very important with that calcium-magnesium balance, and the absorption of the nutrients, really important. So I always recommend the Entire food state nutrients, because although they have a low dose, they have a very high absorbency, which is really important.
Because that's what we need. We need to get it into the bones. Is there anything that we're eating that could be trying to weakening the bones?
Definitely. Soft drinks are absolute no-no. They really weaken the bones. 2 reasons. One, the sugars, but also the phosphates in any fizzy drinks. So that could even be fizzy water. And the phosphates upset the calcium-phosphate ratio in the bones, basically make the bones weaker, because even as an adult, our bones are replenishing all the time. They don't stay just static, the same old bones every day. They're actually a living tissue, so being replaced. And there's other things in the diet. Salt, for instance, that's another bad thing in the diet that really weaken the bones too.
Jane, it's all the good stuff. It's the soft drinks, it's the salt, they're just not good.
Absolutely. And the other thing to think about is, apart from diet rather, is exercise. So that's really important to keep our bones strong. The more we exercise, especially outdoors or especially under any kind of gravity, which is really any exercise apart from swimming, because we've got that gravity which helping the calcium get into the bones and the other special nutrients in the bones.
So it's basically using your body as well, you know, use your bones, get out there, do a bit of exercise, and that's going to strengthen it.
Absolutely, yeah, and then you get stronger. Astronauts who are up in space, there's very famous studies on when they were up in space, even for a few days, they came back, and because they weren't under any form of gravity, the calcium didn't actually go into their bones that easily, and they came back, even though they're very fit men and women, they came back with quite weak bones, so they had to put them on special exercise programs to get that calcium back and encourage the body to lay down the foundations for strong bones. Yeah.
It's never too late to start looking after your bones?
Absolutely, never too late. So, you know, check out the soft drinks. Fast food, don't have that anything with salt in it. Avoid that, and of course all the good nutritious food. Yeah.
Make sure you have it. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Jane.
You're welcome.
Jane Kirkley there from Bay Naturopath, making sure you're going to have big, strong bones. And that's all that we've got time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, if you want to contact us, jump on our website, tvcentral.co.nz, or flick us an email at news@tvcentral.co.nz. Right, don't forget, tomorrow is Wear Your Bathrobe to Work and Wish for Better Things Day. So I want to see you out there tomorrow wearing your bathrobe. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you again tomorrow.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.